This is a guided notes lesson for the article Chemical Compounds in Cells. Please see the article and questions located at the bottom of the provided article. Let me know if you have any questions. Back to basics. What is an element? An element is any substance that cannot be broken down into simpler substances. Then what is an atom? Well, an atom is the smallest unit of an element. These are the building blocks of everything in the universe. What are two or more elements chemically combined called? These you will call compounds. And finally, what are the smallest units of compounds? Molecules. We have spoken quite a bit about carbon dioxide, oxygen, and water molecules for photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Organic compounds are most compounds that contain, very important element for us, carbon. Carbon is what creates so many other things for us on our planet. Today we will focus on carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. Let's start with carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. What are they? Carbohydrates are energy-rich organic compounds formed from carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. They are typically sugars and starches. So why are they important? They are important because they are very important components to cell membranes, walls, and other parts, and they make a lot of ATP. Can we think of some examples of carbohydrates? Well, some that we have right here are fruits, vegetables, potatoes, rice, and pasta. Can you think of any more? Now we have complex versus simple carbohydrates. A complex carbohydrate is high fiber and slow burning. These are carbs that will give you energy for a longer period of time. Some examples can be brown rice, corn, potatoes, strawberries, and broccoli. Simple carbohydrates are low fiber, fast burn. These are carbs that will give you energy very quickly, but you have to be sure to use them. Some examples include candy, sugary drinks, some baked goods and cereals with high sugar content, and sports drinks can be considered here too. So which of these is healthier? Answer is complex carbs. Why? Because simple carbs burn too quickly and too much becomes sugar. This makes it easier for our cells to store it and turn to fat. Next, we'll talk about lipids. What are they? Lipids are energy-rich organic compounds made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Lipids also have more energy than carbohydrates. So then why are they so important? Well, lipids store energy from the cells. This allows cells to come back and take what they need. But how could they be bad? Well, with twice the amount of energy, you have to burn twice as much, meaning you have to do even more activities in order to burn everything off. What are some examples of lipids? What we have are fats, oils, and waxes. Looking at the picture, we have salmon, olive oil, various nuts and seeds, and an avocado. This article is great to learn about lipids and how they can be very healthy for us. And finally, On to proteins. What are they? Proteins are large organic molecules made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sometimes sulfur. Protein is also made of amino acids. So why are proteins important? They make up most cell structures, including membranes and organelles. It's important to think of proteins as building blocks. What might be some examples of proteins? Meat, nuts, eggs, and milk products are all great ways to obtain protein. However, if we look at this picture, we see there are many food items we can get protein from, including many vegetables and nuts. Speaking of proteins, we have enzymes. What are enzymes? Enzymes are a type of protein that speeds up chemical reactions in living things. Why might this be important? Well, they are needed for chemical reactions to occur in time or sometimes even at all. Imagine eating a bagel for breakfast, and rather than getting the energy quickly, it took almost 18 to 24 hours. This goes with a perfect example of an enzyme called amylase. Amylase is in our saliva and helps break down starches. On the front page of your worksheet, you will see a chart that has the type of compound, elements, and functions listed. For carbohydrates, their elements are carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and their functions are to give off a lot of ATP. Lipids are made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and their function is to store energy. And finally, proteins. Proteins are made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur. These make substances of the cell and are building blocks. Water. It's not food, so why do we need it? Why is it so darn important? Well, here are 4 reasons why. First, it helps reactions take place because of polarity. A sneak vocab word is polarity, the ability to temporarily bond to many substances. Water does this because it is attracted to both positive and negative charges. Water also helps cells keep size, shape, and temperature stable. If you have too much water, sometimes your temperature will become unbalanced, just as if you have too little. Water also helps carry substances into and out of cells. Most of our blood is made of water and contains a lot of plasma to help with the transfer. And finally, it's a raw material in photosynthesis. Remember, one of our reactants for photosynthesis was water. Vitamins and minerals. They're not food, but are found in the soil. Soil is the most important part of all of this. Minerals in soil are what allow plants to make complex sugars, which we then eat. This graphic is just some of the important vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that we need. Note how some have multiple functions and others are very specified.